Yes. Yo. Good evening and welcome to Blaps Talk. We're a little late this evening. Apologies for that. Couldn't be helped. But we're going to bring you the show nonetheless. We don't mind because it don't matter. Blaps Talk, better living and positive propaganda system, talking about real knowledge. And that knowledge is what's happening over here, what's happening over there, what's happening in the celebrity and community world, and what sparks me off. We have to be aware of what sparks me off. It's very important. Okay, once I've shared my anger with you, then we will be complete for this session. And let's get the party started right with my anthem from Public Enemy.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Yes. As I said, my name is Black. Better living a positive propaganda system. I tell you what's happening, what they're saying when their lips aren't moving. Basically, conspiracy controversies around the world. What's happening in the UK, what's happening outside of the UK, what's happening in the celebrity community world. And later on, I'll tell you what's lately makes me angry, or what has always made me angry. I'm going to tell you because I think you should know, and I need to share it with you. I need to share my pain, as it were. I'm trying a little different today. I've made the meeting more accessible, more easily accessible, to see if that works. I've made it, I've not advertised it, so on the normal place where I advertise it, it's prices, the highest coverage, and then let it out there and see what happens. So it's going to be interesting. And as usual, I don't mind talking to myself. Talking to you guys. So we are talking about in over here. We're talking about bullying. Now, bullying, those who know me, is literally the thing that has driven me to be who I am today. It's not. It's the fact that bullying exists, and I, at a very early age, found that I wanted to do something about bullying. I was literally in school when I had this epiphany that said, we need to get rid of bullying. I've become a bully myself because I used to bully the people that bullied because I was a martial artist and I could handle myself. And so I would sort out problems physically most of the time. But, I grew up and I found a better way. I chatted a lot more. But yeah, it's I found that nothing gets sorted ultimately through violence. It just stops the conversation at that point. We need to have better methods of communicating. We need to have better methods of organizing our thoughts about our feelings, so other people understand. We're all the same, pretty much, around the world. It doesn't matter where it is. So eradicating bullying has become my major goal. And it's basically permeates everything I do, to the point where I've started a community group. It's been running about 25 years now. We have been in many schools chatting about this and delivering seminars and talks, and after school clubs, martial arts anti-bullying collective being the major one, where we teach ways of life classes and communication, conflict management skills, and obviously self-defense techniques for when people do not want to communicate or have failed to communicate with you and only wish to settle this physically because they have personal problems. Anyway, we do that, and we do mediation, and we do mentoring, and we are out there trying to make the community stronger through teaching them the method martial artists use to solve problems, issues, puzzles, conundrums, anything. We go through the martial method, which is the Wu Day, and use that to help us make decisions on what to do next. Our stick-to-itiveness comes from the Wu Day. Our ethics, our moral values come from the Wu Day. It's literally the martial code. I've condensed it into 52 lessons. Why? Which other instructors can purchase the book and learn how to teach not just physical, but also the warrior code, what it is to be not a samurai, but just a martial artist, a person walking the earth dedicated to protecting the community. I'm talking about all this not as an advert for the CDMA, the Community Development for Martial Arts, which is my group, but to say what we're talking about over here in the UK, there is a bullying problem. Now, I know that the bullying exists everywhere on the planet, because it literally starts from when you're in the nursery all the way up to government, death. It goes all the way, and permeates every aspect of our life, bullying in one way, shape, or form. And what I'm trying to do is to eradicate it by getting everyone to understand how to communicate and get it taught sooner, like in schools, how to do it. So if we have this method, because we learned how to speak English by using the alphabet, stringing letters together to make words and words together to make sentences. We learned about grammar, we learned about notation, vowels, all the rest of it. And then we're speaking English. We're fluent at it. Therefore, we are skilled at it to the point where 2-3 years old, we are communicating very well with our parents. We can tell them, I feel sad, I feel happy, I need food, I need to go somewhere. We have a basic method of communication. We use our body language to communicate with. It tells us if we're angry or sad, or it can tell us if we're lost, or we could tell us anything about us. So the method of communication gets much more sophisticated once you learn how to tie the non-verbal with the verbal. And then you get the bigger picture, which is language, communication, and discovery of problems. If you don't communicate, that's when it leads to the physical, because people like to get scared real quick. And if they don't understand you, they get frightened. If they get frightened, they want to either run away or fight. The fight or flight gets activated. And most of the time, it's the fight, because we know how to do that. That's a basic, simple thing. You ball up your fist and you mash it into someone's face until you're less scared and there's less movement in them. So what we're talking about over here, when I get round to the point, is do we teach our children bullying? Because it's endemic, it's not going away. So we are perpetuating it. We teach it. We show children how to do bullying properly. They go out, do it in schools. They learn to recognize, wow, I'm being bullied here. I've seen this in a film. I've seen this in my parents. I've seen this at my workplace. I've seen this. And someone oppressing someone else is visually apparent. It's immediate. We recognize it. And so we understand someone's doing that because they want to get something from the weaker person, or the person that's being oppressed. Now, you may be able to see the nuance of this if a child is bullying a parent by screaming in a market, because they know that the parent is very conscious of their environment and who's looking at them and what the people might think. And so they throw themselves down on the floor in tantrum. You might get it when you're on a phone to someone on the phone, and your child starts crying when they see you on the phone, because they know that they're going to get attention at that point, because the person on the phone needs to be told, oh, he's okay. Oh, it's not really a problem. He's not in pain. He's not in discomfort. He's just got colic. He's just got a stomachache. He's just not eaten yet. He's just blah, blah, blah. And all, you have to come out with excuses to settle the person you're talking to. The baby doesn't know, but the baby knows that you're going to put down the phone. I've got to go and put down the phone and come and deal with that. Babies are incredibly intelligent. You have no idea how babies are intelligent, but if they're learning a new language while their brain is basically not formed, and they're learning how to interact with things they've never seen before, that you're used to. You've been alive 30 plus years, 40 plus years, 50 plus years. You know exactly what's going on around you. But the baby just got here. What's that? What does that smell? What does that taste? What is that? They never know what they're doing. What's this? Put it in the mouth. Find out what's wrong. What's going on? Is this good or bad? Let me put it in my mouth first. Find out. Bah, that's disgusting. I'm not touching that again. Learning. But at school, my point is, at school, we do not learn the methods to find out how to find out people's problems and their feelings. We just ask the basic question: "What's your problem? Get away from me!" And it's react to it, reactionary, and that gets us nowhere. Where the person will continue until they get purchased from someone, and someone says, "I'm not taking it from you," and now they've got their reason to get attention. They can hit this person knowing they're going to get in trouble for it if they get caught. Then they can get attention, and then we'll find out exactly why that person is so angry they had to bully someone else. And we find out again, if someone's getting bullied by many people, why they are getting bullied. You find out, because eventually you get attention for it. And people will say, "What's your problem? What's the matter with you? Why is it? Is it something going on at home?" And then, that person may open up, and finally they'll get attention. They'll get some way, some support, and get a method to get stronger. Do you see what I'm saying? This is when they meet me, and and I fix them. And when the bully meets me, they understand. Oh, I can't do that physical thing that I did on that other person my age. And even if I was this guy's age, I couldn't deal with him. he's too big. And if I was as big as him, I couldn't deal with him because he knows martial arts. And if I did know a lot of martial arts, still couldn't deal with him because he's more experienced in ways of using the martial art, and it goes on and on. So they basically have to either respect me, fear me, or learn. And this is a very good. The method I use is very good to show why they're bullying. Once they understand why they're bullying, they stop doing it. Simple as that. Once I understand it's a problem within them, they understand they have to change, or it's going to, permeate everything they do and forever. It's not going to stop just because they're in a kung fu lesson today. It's going to continue unless they change, and it's not going to go well for them. It only ends one or two ways. In that, when you're a bully, it's just like saying you're a criminal, or just like saying you're drugs, or just like saying it's either prison or death. And it's strange to say, all these things, either medical or it could be community, or it could be something driven, but they always end in one or the other way. Either you get incarcerated for what you're doing wrong, or you die from it. Your health deteriorates because of it. So this is why I say one of two ways, and not just say, "Oh, you might get a job and learn." No, that's what I say is freedom or death. is one or the other. You have to say the absolute chaos of the universe gets clearer when you understand the dichotomy of the universe exists. So you've got one side and you've got the other, and it's just you there with your side and your other side. Okay, so one side is good, one side's bad, one side's black, one side's white. It goes on and on and on. Once you understand that, the chaos ceases to be. The chaos is everything. Oh, look, stop. You are the source of the chaos. Chaos doesn't just exist chaos is perceived by yourself. So you have to understand, either you stop the chaos or you let it continue. If you let it continue, it's going to end two ways. If you stop it, it's going to end two ways: freedom or death. Freedom, yes, choose that way. Then death, yes, choose that way. You see, so it's very gratifying to show a bully and a person that's bullied who are in the same class, and they're in the same class because one of them was getting bullied and one was bullying, and they're in front of me. Exactly how powerful the bullied is, and exactly how weak the bully is. And once they realize why I've made them powerful or why I've shown them why they're weak, they begin to realize we're in the same boat. We're both in the same boat here. We should be friends rather than enemies or uh, symptoms of another problem. We can be more. We can be better. We should want the respect of our community and not just be outrageous in our responses. I'm writing down something here, so just making sure that I get everything right, because I didn't set up my cards today. I didn't set up my stuff for sharing the screen because I did not have time. I was busy doing other things. That's why we're late. So I'm just still writing down stuff. I have to make sure I've covered. Bullying. I have several groups on Facebook, and a lot of people understand that I show that bullying is continuing because people send me videos all the time, and so I post the videos of when it's happening, even if it's subtle bullying, even if it's bullying that I didn't realize I was bullying when I did that. When I manipulated my mum into giving me this, that, or the other, that I was the bully, or I didn't realize I was the bully when I asked my wife to make me dinner every night because I go out to work. I didn't know I was bullying her. I didn't know I was oppressing her. Until you see it in front of you, I didn't know that is me. And then if someone was next to you that recognized you as that person on the video, that is crazy. That's terrible. That's you. That's you. I've been trying to tell you this for years. You don't realize you're doing it. You need to seek help. You need to go to the CDMA and seek solace of help and support, because we help the bullied and the bullies. Yeah. So I have these groups on Facebook, WhatsApp, and we discuss because the first port of call I get is the people that are either doing it, the bullying, or people that are being bullied. So if it's children, it's always the parents I'm talking to first. I very rarely talk to the children first. It's normally I'm referred to the parents, and then the parents tell me, my son doesn't bully. My son's getting bullied. I want you to help do something about it with the school. I want to sue them. I want to, the school has an old method. Their method has been used for decades. It's how they teach. Back in the 50s, it was different. Back in the 50s, you could go to a boxing lesson as part of your normal curriculum, as part of your PE, your physical education. You can go to boxing. And so stuff was sorted out in the boxing ring, or, you could almost become friends with a person that that you beat in the boxing ring that thought they were the ultimate bully until you punched them in their nose. So they remembered, oh yeah, I have to be tough as well. uh, it's a great feeling that you're making the community stronger for stopping people getting bullied and stopping people from becoming from being bullied. You just give them so much confidence and high self-esteem that they recognize the bullying straight away for what it is, and they understand how to deal with it. Imagine your child went to a school where they had communication skills lesson or social studies lesson. Social studies normally comes in college times, but like if you understand that in your social studies, you weren't just understanding what makes up culture, what makes up the society. You were taught methods on how to become a constructive member of society. Wouldn't that be awesome? This is what we do at the CDMA. They come to classes, they come to sessions, and then we show them. We show them exactly. We use our method to show them exactly what they can be and why they should want respect, and all these buzzwords that they hear. You must have more discipline. You must be more honorable. You should have more control, self-control. You should have decency. You should be righteous. All these buzzwords. They don't understand them. They're being shouted to that all the time by their parents. Their parents may be going through something, don't have enough time to give to the child. The child suffers, goes to school, and shows out by bullying or by being victimized. And then we find out later on what the problem was, and it gets addressed. But we have to, in my opinion, we have to get the children a toolbox that they can use. So any problem that they come across, they can address it with a method, and not just react to it. Just, I can't do this, or destroy themselves with it. It's very easy to say we won't get this fixed until we all come together and sort this all out. And we need to talk about this knife crime. We need to talk about this falsity crimes and forgery, and we need to talk about the economics. And we need to sort out the economics of the world, and we need to sort out the government oppression in the world. We need to sort out. No, what we need to sort out is how we're going to do it. Is how we're going to react to it. Are we going to let it defeat us, or are we going to become stronger by it? It slapped me in the head. I can either cry, run away, or I can suck it up and learn how to duck or block or hit back before I get slapped. It's up to you. Which way do you want to? Do you want to get stronger by just getting slapped, or do you want to be weakened by it, or be found to be weak because you will not retaliate? It's if you want to see not retaliating as a weakness, that's fine. I mean, it's not always a weakness to not retaliate. It's that you're taking a higher level. I'm not going to go to your low base level. I'm going to stay at my high level and not retaliate. But other people looking at you might see that as weak. You may see it as strength, but it's up to you to have the method or the philosophy or the structure in your brain to know you're acting on a higher level. If you've got a high self-esteem, it's like, no, I'm not going to retaliate because I don't have the ego to say I need to prove to you I could destroy you. I'm going to let it go and then let the authorities deal with you or whatever, sort out. You don't always have to retaliate. Sometimes you could just let it go and it will be sorted. Depends on There's certain people out there that understand when people are kicking off and they're abusive and they use foul language and they get angry and they get animated, they are scared. They're fearful. They're trying to be as ferocious and angry, as monster looking as possible by making themselves bigger, and bravado comes out because they got something they need to cover to defend. And they don't, they feel vulnerable at that point. So they show out. They do something to bring the attention away from them. If someone, some child, um, as an emotional response to their parents' oppression by wetting their bed, and they're 14 years old, and their friend come round and they said, "Was it smell of urine?" Or I'm not going to my house. Why? Because no, it's not nothing. And why do we never go to your house? Why do we never go to yours? Always go to mine. Why do we never go to? Because my mum and dad shout at me, or because you'll smell the urine in all the sheets or the mattress or whatever, while it's drying out, blah blah blah. You know, they they will recluse. They will withdraw from the society if they understood the reaction will get them bullied. Ah, look at you! I heard you pitch your bed, mate. Then the bullying starts. Now, if you are like had a physical problem that made you wet your bed, like a weak bladder or something like that, it's physical, and someone found out you wet your bed, if they said you wet your bed, would you just shout out, "I've got a physical problem," or would you just say, "Well," would you have the strength to do that? See, this is what we do in the CDMA. We make you so strong. You don't have to retaliate. You don't have to even explain yourself. You know what's wrong. You can call me whatever you want. I make your ego total to the point where no one can add to you and no one can take from you. You choose. You can take the compliment. Thank you very much. Didn't know you saw me that way, and still be unmoved. Just because someone compliments you, they might be coercing you to do something. Maneuvering you, manipulation. And so the comment can go flying over your head. Thank you for that, but you're still not getting in. Like as a doorman, this happens to me all the time. So I'm on the door and people say, Trunk wants to get in. Ah, you're awesome. You're a good looking geezer, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yes, thank you very much. I'm still not coming in. You're that, but you start cussing you out. Thank you very much. But you're still not coming in. So it's a matter of do you understand what's going on? Have you the ability to ignore it or deal with it? Can you still be in control when someone gets physical? And that's the whole point. You are, as a martial artist, you have the full capability of destroying most people around you if you wanted to. And the only fact that makes you the strongest person in the room is that you choose not to do it. You choose not to use yourself. Imagine you are Superman or Superwoman if you're female. Imagine I'm Superman. Right. Imagine I'm Superman. Big old S, red cape, looking good, jawline strong, all that kind of stuff. And I decided one day I'm going to do exactly what the hell I want to do. I get some red kryptonite. What is it? Which one is it that makes him lose his inhibitions and get? I think it's red. The green, obviously, green normal kryptonite is the one. There's so many colors of kryptonite: green, gold, blue, black, white kryptonite. There's all kinds of different kryptonite. Anyway, doesn't matter. They just had to keep making different styles of communicate to him because he's boring. He's white bread, and he's just try. You're the strongest. You're the fastest. Yeah, whatever. You'll never lose. And so they have to find something to make be big equalizer. To so he can be poked. He can be flawed. He can be hurt. And I think red kryptonite makes him lose his inhibitions, like his human inhibitions or Kryptonian. But he's been brought up to be a nice person, and if he gets hold of, I'm pretty certain it's red kryptonite. It makes him all, child. I'm going to steal. I'm going to rob. I'm not going to care. I'm not going to bother. You know what I mean? I'm not going to bother. Do what I want. I'll save something if I feel like it. Well, I'll just rob that bank. And what does he need money for? He's Superman. What does he need money for? You see what I'm saying about the ego? If you got an ego that says I'm Superman, I don't need nothing from you. I can do anything. You can take a piece of coal and crush it and get a 10-carat diamond. What do you? How much money have you got for that guy? He can do what he wants. Um, so the only thing that stops him from ripping the earth in half is himself, his own control. So I get you to the point where you're Superman, but before I do that, I let you understand what it is to be a complete person, a strong member of the community, a person under control, a person disciplined, who understands his strengths, their strengths, and understands that they can be manipulated because they're Superman to do serious harm, or they can be manipulated to do serious good. It doesn't matter, good or bad. Manipulation is the thought. If you got to the point where you have the method that recognizes all these things, then you will not get bullied. You can't be bullied. You can't bully either. If you're a strong person, then you should be proving it. You shouldn't be, well, as the phrase goes, if the only reason you should be standing over someone is to help them up. So if you're strong, if you're powerful, you say you're a big ass bully and you're the strongest person in the school, blah, blah, blah. You're the strong one in this, then why aren't you helping everyone around you like Superman does? So, well, some people don't believe in superhero. I don't care. It's just an analogy. It's a metaphor. Being a community person, a warrior, is a metaphor for how we should all be. We should all be walking around helping each other. You've got problems, I can fix it because I'm this strong. If I need help to help the community, I will ask you because I need the help. I'm not going to have the ego to say, I'll just do it by myself. Just give me more time, blah, blah, blah. No. If I need help to sort that problem for the whole community, I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to ask for it straight away because my ego doesn't need to be pampered. And this is why the CDMA was started, because I needed a group of people. I needed the whole community to fix the community. There's many people to be taught this method so we can fix the rest that do not know it. And, I had a lot of contention about using martial arts, but people understood at the same time. So what is it? You just teach martial arts? No, I teach a martial way before I teach you martial arts. So I'm not going to make you a person of mass destruction before I give you the ethics to be able to control yourself, not to use it. And the moral values, so you know when and if you should use it. You'll have the ability to make the decision on whether to harm or to help. So this is why I feel But we're talking about over here at this point. We should be talking about how we're going to fix bullying, for instance. Is what the main crux of the over here is about. How are we going to fix bullying? Is by learning the method, learning a method that doesn't make you react. It keeps you under control and makes you observe exactly what's going wrong with the person in front of you. That makes them want to bully you, or makes them think they can bully you. What are you giving off? What, with your non-verbal communication, your body language, what are you showing that makes them think you are weak, that you can be bullied? So the development is crucial. And that's what I think should be going on in schools. That's why I developed the CDMA. And I thought about doing this when Margaret Thatcher was in government. That was in the 70s, late 70s. That's how far back I've been thinking about this. I can tell you I was in school when I worked all this stuff out. It's not difficult to work it out. I mean, a lot of martial artists have done this. They've worked it out, that they need to teach as many people as they can. If you go to places where the martial arts are used as a personal development tool rather than a method you could use in case you get into trouble tool, you'll see that the schools are designed in a very sophisticated way. Instead of saying this is an academy for the performing arts or for sport or for science, it's a martial school. It's a school to make you a warrior. A warrior is skilled in many things. I'm a Sifu because it's a terminology used for instructor or teacher, father figure, so when I'm teaching you because it helps the community, because you're stronger now because you have more knowledge. All right. So it's not as if a baker can't teach you something. The baker is Sifu. It's not as if a mechanic can't teach you something. The mechanic is a Sifu. There's Sifu in their high skill area. They're highly skilled in their area. And I'm a martial Sifu. So I'm going to teach you about the art of war and peace. Art of war and peace. I didn't say the art of war by itself. The art of war is a flip side. Remember, there's two sides to everything. When you're thinking about war, you prepare for peace. When you're thinking about peace, you prepare for war. When you're a farmer, you can put down your tool and use them in war. When you're at war, you're looking forward to becoming that farmer again, where it's all peaceful and you can grow crops for your community. So it's a complete development tool in the schools where these martial arts came from, And let's say, in African schools, they teach, they do teach how to wrestle. They teach how to use shields and spears and sword fighting and everything that was happening thousands of years ago. Still teaching it in a way in African schools. And when you go to Chinese schools and Japanese schools and Korean schools and stuff like that, martial arts is everywhere. It's normality. And that's why I started the academy. I wanted to have maths, English, kung fu, science, judo, geography. You know what I'm saying? I wanted it as normal as everything else. But our government, they'll say, oh, you're just going to make more elite warriors. Yeah, well, you would make more elite warriors, more elite thugs. That you're just going to make more elite thugs. No, you would make more elite thugs. We didn't have a method to make them understand they are warriors of the community, not of their gang. They are for the community, not for crime. They're here to help, not to harm. Their well-being keeps the human race going. That word about the other person over there's health is how the community keeps going. So this is what the method I use comes from the Wu Day. And if you understand the Wu Day, then it's great teaching children, especially the ones that have been told you're worthless, you're always abusive, you're out of order, you've got no future, blah, blah, blah. They come to my after school classes, and then the parents, I've never known this change. I've never seen him so polite. He's totally changed since coming to you. What did you do? What did you say to him? Well, you're perfectly welcome to sit and watch. You know, you can see what I do and then use the same things I do in at home, because he can't be a martial artist just here. He has to be a martial artist all the time in life. And so it's not just a Monday and Wednesday thing. He has to be, they, the student has to understand that this is a lifetime thing. We're not just martial artists on a certain day. That's called pottery class. So I don't do that. Never have done. I even told my students way back in the day, we don't do pottery class here. We don't do something for you to tell your friends you do on a Wednesday. Oh yes, on Wednesdays they go to flower range. You can click it. No, that's not what we do. We're martial artists 24/7. How do you ride your bike? How a martial artist does. How do you arrange your flowers? How a martial artist does. How do you make the bread? How a martial artist does. This is our life. This is our way of doing life. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I think we've gone far enough. We're way overdue. We started late, but yeah, enough time already. Over there, we're talking about. Oh yeah, before I go on to over there, if you want to get in touch with me about the CDMA, Community Development for Martial Arts, go to cdma.uk.com. Remember to put in the HTTPS blah 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 /. So it's cdma.uk.com/. And that will take you to the CDMA page, and you see what we do, our services, lessons, our courses, our seminars, what we do all the time in the community. We do a lot of mediation, a lot of counseling, a lot of coaching, and we teach the children real education classes, free running. We do a lot of stuff. We do musical, photography, languages, economics, science. We teach a lot more than just martial arts. Okay, so normally we have about a minimum of 5 martial arts being taught in the academy at any one time. Right now, we're temporarily in a building, Marsh Farm, called Marsh House Community Centre. It's been there for decades, and it's currently being changed from what it is to the awesome place it is now by Outreach Luton. And it's a community hub. And if you've been there, you understand what I'm saying. It's a historical building. We went there as children, and now we've got it, and we're using it to make the community stronger, more happier, more comfortable. It's a wonderful place, and even if I get a massive building or something, I'm still going to be utilizing the space for as long as I can, and combine it with what I'm doing in another place. But we do a lot of physical things that require a lot of space. So obviously, I'm going to need a separate building. But just after COVID, we all had to go indoors, and so we just did it mostly online. And since we've gone back now, we're all outside, blah blah blah. In late 2021-ish, 22, going into 22. We were back. It was very slow to go back in. People were very slow to go back in, so they kept online. And we went into people's private homes and stuff like that. So now that we're fully out and we're fully free again, we want to get back into a building, but we have to make sure that we understand we have to be accessible and we have to have space because we do a lot of physical stuff. We have stunt and film elite. We have the MAP, martial arts professional, which is any martial art that we teach in there. We have the Young Warriors Youth Development Academy. We have the Our Space Youth Club. We have Hip Hop Historian. There's a lot of things goes in the CDMA, and the Warriors Workshop is based there as well for the time being. The Warriors Workshop is a group of companies, Martial Arts Centre Academy. We have the CDMA. We have fightme.co.uk, Black Sweep Productions, and Warrior Security Services. So we are there as a base at the moment. Soon we're going to have a building to work from again, and we will be doing a lot more than what we do now. It's going to be huge. Just like the academy we had in 2016 in Town Centre, in the town centre in George Street, but doing more, even more than we were doing there, which was a lot. Anywho, talking about Jamaica now, it's over there. Jamaican stereotype still true. The Jamaican stereotype that we're all used to is if I described Rasta, patty, beef patty, reggae music, angry, violent people that live under a sunny disposition and have a great place to live, but everyone wants to leave there. Is that stereotype still real? Is it still the way it used to be when I was a youth and visited there for the first time? Now, that would be 1980s. Okay, when I first went there, I was 12, I think. And the next time I was about 15. Next time I was about, I was well grown up. I was married. Next the third time I went, yeah. Married and came back with my children, and all my family comes from there, both sides, and it's a beautiful place to know that you've come from. Our ancestors, obviously, from Africa. But it's like when you say who you are, you're culturally Jamaican. Your nationality is, I was born here, so I'm British. My nationality is where I was born. It's where I pay my taxes. It's where I'm going to probably die. Britain is my nationality. British is my nationality. Culture, Jamaican. Descendancy, Africa. Where your ethnic origin is African. So the narrative that Jamaica has is because I've always asked my family, and I've always asked people that talk about Jamaica like it's a green and pleasant land, beautiful place, blah blah blah. I always ask them, so why are the people obsessed with getting out, getting to London, getting to America? They're always obsessed with getting out. Why? Is Jamaica so bad, so violent, so angry, so unchanged, and that moniker I'm trying to stop myself saying third world. All right, I'll blur it down. Is it still there? And that's the question I'm asking today, over there. Is that third world moniker still applicable to Jamaica? There you go. And I'm saying no. People who say them kind of things are ignorant as hell. It's just like Luton. I'm in Luton. Now, if I said that 20 years ago. People say, so what? Where's that? What are you on about? But I said, and especially when I was in the World Championships, no, it's the European Championships, about 1993. I was at the European Championships and America was invited to the European Championships. I was like, well, they're here. But like, whatever, we're allies. But even in the World Championships, yours, Argentina next to us, the team Argentina was sitting next to us. This is in the 90s again. And we had Portugal and France and blah, blah, blah. Lots of teams next to us, 150 countries. Brilliant stage, Taipei, Taiwan. Hundreds and hundreds of people. And you're having conversations with all these people and you're saying, so what are you the champion of? Which nation do you come from? Blah, 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 which country do you come from? And you talk to them and you say, I come from a place called Luton, where we have the world champion karate, world champion boxer, world champion kung fu, world champion eskrima, world champion. And I could go on for a long time saying how many champions we got. And I go, where is this place? They've never heard of us. Fast forward to 21st century now. We're in 2023, 2024. And Andrew Tate is the most famous person on the planet for whatever reason. And in Luton, we know Andrew Tate. It's like he's over there. Oh, no. He won the kickboxing thing. Oh, yeah, cool. I was there that night. Yeah. Took a picture with him. I got a picture. And, I talked to him a lot on Facebook before he became ridiculously famous. I used to talk to him and row with him about different subjects on Facebook. Then he started being really very good, very well done, I say to Andrew Tate, for where he's got himself with what he does and what he knows. And I can say to you, okay, you might have heard of this about him or that about him. Whatever persona he puts out, that's the one I've been involved with. The one I got, the persona I got, okay, it's cool. If you want to then refer me back to this happened with him or that happened to him, if it's not factual or if it's factual, it would be in the papers, it's on print, it's known by his friends, known by his family. You know it, I know it. Everyone knows. Okay, cool. I think we understand each other. But I've never had a problem with him. And it's just like if you delve into anyone's past, you will find something you don't like. Anyone's past, you'll find something you don't like. Even the Dalai Lama, he sucked on the tongue of a child. I'm like, what the? This guy's supposed to be what? He's supposed to be a deity on earth. He's what? And he's doing what? And popes getting up to this, that, and the other, and world leaders found in drug dens and stuff like that. Everyone's got something that you don't like that is perfectly nice in another country. It's just the way it is. Anyway, Andrew Tate, as soon as he became ridiculous famous, everyone like, where does he come from? Where is he born? Where is he? He's got a strange accent. Where does that come from? Oh, he was born in America, lived over there, came over here when he was young, like 12, and grew up in Luton. And so it made Luton famous. And then when 7/11 happened, the bus, in London, explosions and terrorism, where did the attackers come from? Luton. Where did they train? Luton. Wow. When the riots happened in Marsh Farm, it gained national news levels. The stuff that goes on in Luton, the people that come from Luton have made Luton so infamous or famous that we have become either the most hated town or the town that is supposed to be the worst in Britain, or the town most misunderstood that has got jewels you can go on forever, Vauxhall and the the hat industry, and we've got all kinds of great things come from Luton. And we're just a little little town 30 miles north of London. Our airport is London Luton Airport because it's a commuter's ride to get anywhere on the planet. And it's amazing what we've achieved. And the same thing goes for Jamaica. Jamaica is that small little island surrounded by other islands over there in the South America, off the coast of South America. And if you weren't looking for it, you'll never see it because all the rest, they are a tiny piece of island, 150 miles long, 40 miles wide. You know what I mean? 40 miles not long. You know what I mean? It's like a small area of the planet, and yet you got the same Bob Marley, go on and on. The amount of famous people you can, name from there, inventors that have come from there, inventions that have come from there. There would be no steel industry in Britain if it weren't for Jamaica. You don't know that because they suppressed them information. The information. All right, but it's the phrase "we're not big, but we're talawa." Everyone Jamaican understood what I just said. We're not big, but we're talawa. Now, some people might not hear what I said. They may not understand what I said. It might sound like an African language or something. But, it's patois you just said. Is it? You know, you look up the dictionary and the word patois. That's not what I'm doing right now. But okay, it's a colloquial patois. Fine. Okay, cool. So way, it's a slang, it's a method, it's a pidgin English, and it's not pidgin. Anyway, but we understand the people that come out of Jamaica are people that are have such a hard existence that they either become diamonds or they just desist and disappear and get blown away in the wind. So when you say you come from Jamaica, people respect you immediately just for being able to exist and stay alive in Jamaica because they know you're coming from a harsh part of the world. And then when they get off the plane, I thought you said you came from a harsh place, bullet holes everywhere, blah, blah, blah. This place is gorgeous. It's the heat. Oh my God. You know the heat hits you when you come off the plane as you come from air conditioned plane to barrage heat. You go into Jamaica. And it's like that as you get off. And I tell tales of when I was walking through, my sandals would stick to the tarmac because it was melting, running down the road because it's so hot. And people, come on, you exaggerating that. Not. I've got pictures of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's when people tell you the tales, you would just, yeah, that's real. That's real. That's real. The most dangerous place to live on the planet. And then there's wars going on in other places. This is the monikers Jamaica has got. Highest gun shot, gun wounding, gun kills, gun deaths, gun violence, Jamaica. Biggest stars around the world in terms of knowledge known by other people, bounty killer, like I said before, Bob Marley. It goes on and on. Jamaica. Most churches per square mile on the planet Earth, Jamaica. And so you just get a feeling of, how is this little town fastest man on the planet, Jamaica? Fastest team on the planet, Jamaica. Fastest, best educated, most intelligent, goes on and on and on and on. And people still these days coming up with a stereotype. Jamaicans are angry, they're vicious, and they're uncontrollable, they're animals. But I ask you this, Jamaica just won an award for the best tourist destination on the planet. Now, I've seen pictures, and my family have been around to every place on the planet. My son's been to Dubai twice. He's also been to Jamaica. My friends have been to Nassau, Bermuda, and they've been to Jamaica. My I've got a business friend that went to Bora Bora for a wedding to get married, and they've been to Jamaica, and they all say the same thing: they'd rather live in Jamaica than all these palatial places on the planet. It's crazy, and yet Jamaica gets the worst news and optics. Now, we could say, okay, back in the day, it wasn't being reported as much, and all the bad stuff was being reported with all the violence around, um, you know, voting when it comes to elections and stuff like that. It's legendary. That's been happening for years. Obviously, since I was a youth, before I was a youth, when my parents were living there, that has been going on. But then after Bob Marley's concert kind of eased off and now barely known about, when I went over there the first time, I saw children, probably just out of single digits, driving around in a Volkswagen Beetle with no bonnet, no doors, no boot, just open top, just driving, going to market, and police going the other way and don't do nothing. You see people slapping each other in the middle of the street with machete, and I'm like, what is this? And then you go to a beach like Hellshire Beach, my favorite beach on the planet, and they're catching lobster out fresh out of the water, and then cooking it up for you and feeding you with festival dumpling, sweet dumpling. And you think, I just saw a man get slapped in the face with a machete, and there's no cut, just slapped him with a sword. And I see the most. I hear my cousin got shot at in the KFC. They shot up the KFC. They had to duck down, and yet there's this alligator fall. There's Ultra there's Dunsmore Falls. There's James Bond beach. There's the that side again. Nice, disgusting, both sides. There's people that have gone to holiday and stayed in a hotel, and I don't know what everyone was talking about because they've never seen any of the bad stuff. They never went into the market. They never went into the local market. They didn't really talk to real street Jamaicans about how was your day, where can I get a drink, where's the toilet. Nothing. They didn't talk to them. All they talk to the hotel staff who've been trained, and I mean, they might live in them places, but when they come, they understand how to talk to, because it's tourism. Tourism is the biggest money in Jamaica, and they've just got an award for it. Now, if you're going to live up to the stereotype, you have to continue and not change. But Jamaica has changed immensely, especially economically. People are still corrupt. People are still stealing money from contracts. But the Chinese have been in there for decades, adding infrastructure to Jamaica. And so there's new roads being built, bridges being built, the hospitals, schools, because China are doing what China does, and that is to expand. But what China does is offer to expand the the ports and the places of high investment, and at the same time give infrastructure. We're going to repair all the roads. We're going to make the hospitals bigger. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, because their people need to come over and use it as well. So they're not going to entice anyone from China to come live in Jamaica while their businesses are growing there by saying, "Oh yeah, don't go over there because they shoot each other daily over there." No, they have to stop the violence over there. Now it's safe to come over. They have to make it right. Now come over. They have to build up the hospital. Now come over. They can't do it while the place is in utter disarray. So them stereotypes there have to stop. And that's what we're talking about in over there. Do we need to show Jamaica on a development on a larger scale more regularly? Yes. 4-lane motorways are being built, stadiums are being built. Like I say, technology centers being built. Like Africa, I was talking about Africa, but 2013, I was talking about Africa on this show, Black Talk. And I showed pictures of Nigeria, and I showed pictures of Japan, and I showed pictures of New York. And I asked people to guess which one was which. So, of course, they were looking out for Japanese writing on everything. Maybe, what's written, but they're kind of adverts and everything. But I made sure those pictures that didn't have much writing in them, because I'm not stupid. And so I showed the pictures, generic pictures of the downtime lit up. They couldn't tell which one's Nigeria, which one's New York, which one's Japan, Tokyo, because people think Nigeria, everyone's walking around in shorts with big bellies and flies around their eye, and that's it. That nothing's going on down there. We don't need to invest over there. There's nothing to be gained from being in Nigeria today. But it's most Africa. There's more billionaires in Nigeria than most other countries because of the oil. It's just a fact. And when you're exporting oil, you have to build the infrastructure to get it out. So yes, roads have to be built, schools have to be built, because workers come over from all over the world to come work there for money. And so therefore you have to build the community for them. So yes, they have to come up to a standard associated with the first world, because you can't be saying we're going to learn to third world conditions to get the oil out, and then we're not going to leave anything behind. You can't do that anymore. No one's going to fall for the okie doke. So that's what I'm talking about with Jamaica. It's the same thing. What was it? Bauxite, fruit, flowers, all kinds of things come from Jamaica, and tourism is one of the biggest ones. So how are you going to tell people, oh yeah, we're just going to let you stay in the hotel? Well, I want to go to Jamaica. I want to meet people. I want to imbibe Jamaica. They say, well, it's not too safe to go on the streets. No, you have to make it safe. You have to make it normal to walk the street for everyone around the world. And they can't have fear the way to guide people to go on holiday. Oh, yeah, you can go there, but you can't go there. After 6, you can't go over there. You can't go there. No, you have to make it right. You have to make it appropriate for tourists. And to get that award shows you they've achieved that. You can't just get one of the best places to travel to if you're not safe. Dubai is nice and safe and secure. Dubai, right? And it's in the midst of a region where war has been prevalent for thousands of years, hundreds of years, thousands of years. But it's in the middle of the desert. So it's like they've built this place out of nowhere. And it's the point where people have made videos where they've left their car running, their £2 million Lamborghini, whatever, open top Ferrari, whatever car, and they've left their wallet and their phone on the chair, and they've come back 6 hours later, and it's the same way, exactly as they left it. No one's done nothing, and they've done videos where they've seen how people react. What happens when your wallet, you purposely drop your wallet, unassuming, just blink, hey mate, you dropped your wallet, turn around. The man will chase you down the street to grab you back, to say you've dropped your wallet back there. They're not going to pick it up. No one's picking it up because it's not theirs. It's the laws say. The laws are so harsh, and the people apply to the because they want to live in the country. They don't want to be stressed out knowing that someone saw them do it and they're going to get. But you can't even be allowed. You can't even be poor in that country. They've got laws against you being destitute. You must have money in the bank. You can't go there unless you have. Unless if you're visiting, you have to have a certain amount of money. You cannot be destitute. You cannot owe money to people. It's against their laws. So when you go to that country and you've got the most amount of billionaires, you've got people that have a family who have got to collected wealth of a trillion living next to you. And you might just meet them as they go through the shopping mall that they built, and buy 10 Lexuses for their cousins that just became 15 or whatever. So yeah, they'll come back to your wallet and say, "There's your wallet. You just dropped out your pocket. I saw it drop." Well, thank you very much, mate. Money's still in there. Everything's still cool. And that wallet could stay there for 8 hours. You could say, "I walk down the street and walk back, and the wallet would still be there." It's that could never happen in the. Oh my gosh. You dropped it, immediately turned around, and the man had picked it up and say, "That's my wallet, brother. You just saw it drop out of my pocket. No, it's not, it's mine. I'll fight you for it. I'll kill you for this." That's looting. Wow, we've got so far to go. And it just shows you that we were talking about just a minute ago in over here with the bullying situation. Nothing will change, but it shows you nothing's going to change unless we make it happen. But it also shows you that if there's still bullying going on, that's the state of education in that country. If there's still famine going on, if there's still homelessness going on, that's the state of the community in that country. That's the level they've got to. It shows you they've got that much more to go. So for Jamaica to get best tourist destination in the world, they must have the best beaches, the best food, the music, the environment. It's clean, it's healthy living. You got productivity going on there. It's a great place to live. You want to go, and find out eco living over there. Blah blah blah. They've come up, so the stereotype should fall, right? We should move on from the stereotype, right? And I think that needs to be done on a major level. We need to have a TV program that shows you the development of Jamaica every week. Today on Jamaica Today, we're right when that happens, because I used to read the Gleaner like everyone. In UK used to get the Gleaner. My dad used to get the Gleaner um, in the local newspaper. Now you have to get it online, I think. So, but it's still running, I think. But yeah, so we need to glean that and find out what news is going on. We need to have a British channel with Jamaica. You know what I mean? We've got how many? 20 million Caribbean people living in the UK. 75 million, 78 million of us in the UK, and 20 of them, like 25 to 30% is Caribbean or Caribbean origin, African origin. Yeah, we need to have our own TV channel. That should be happening, in my opinion. And I watch it. I watch that a lot because I watch Al Jazeera. I want to find out what's happening in Gaza. I watch Al Jazeera. I don't watch BBC News. I don't watch Fox. I don't watch MSNBC. I don't watch ABC. I don't watch none of them. I watch Al Jazeera and Nigerian news and that kind of stuff to find out what's going on overseas. I don't go to British media. I don't read the newspapers now. Nothing. Or if I want to learn about what's going on, I go to the local news in that country because now we can. Because if you're streaming, you can thousands of channels out there, news channels especially. And YouTube is the new news channel for me. New as in 2007. I've been watching YouTube and to get my information. So you got people like me bringing the truth of the situation, even on a very small scale. I mean, I get barely any views in comparison to other people who get thousands of views, 15,000 views regularly. I get barely any because my platform is minute at the moment. It's just neat. Remember to like and subscribe. Yeah. I'm regrowing the channel. I know it's going to take a long time. I'm regrowing it, and I didn't have what I used to have way back in the day. Back in the day, I mean, if I put out a video in a day or so, there'd be 500 views, 400 or 500 views, But these days, barely any, because I know I'll just get it back on its feet. I'll get it back. We'll start advertising again. It'll be much better. But it takes time. I got plenty of it. It's all good. I'm not worried. So yeah, that's what we're talking about in over there. Tell me what you think in the comments. If you want to comment, tell me what you think. Who should be our advocate? Who should be the person that brings the news for the Caribbean? Who do we respect enough? And should it be done in a typical Jamaican style, buying into the stereotype again? Yeah, what? Yo, man, I said, see this man, yeah? Yeah, scared. You scared, missed it. Yeah, I think we need to have some. That's the answer to the question. Should we be? Does the stereotype still exist that Jamaica is a third world country? And I say no. And what further? We should have somewhere that we can show it. Reporting on what Jamaicans feel, what they want for their children, the achievements their children are having, what their parents are doing, what the country wants for the world, how they are still contributing to the global community in terms of progress and technology. What there's, get a space program going. Why not? Why not? I mean, if one thing is for sure, Jamaica has money. Jamaica has plenty of money. They'll say, "Oh no, we can't do that because we ain't got no money. We ain't got no people investing in it. There's nothing to invest in. The people are what less blah blah blah." This is why the stereotype is dangerous. It's dangerous, and it shows that the government has a lot of work to do. But in terms of the people's productivity and um, adhesion to bettering themselves, we are always they're showing that our flexibility, our resourcefulness is apparent. It's laid down in our genes. It's we will we my dad said it best. We're on the way to Jamaica. Dad, do they have? And he would just cut me off and say yes. I was, why did you cut me off? You're going to ask me if they got this in Jamaica. They got everything that you have. It might look a little different, but they got what you have. Everything you want, everything you find in the UK, they've got it in Jamaica. And but he was saying in terms of mobile phone, they didn't say how they haven't got the Apple 16 or 22, whatever it is now. But they'll have mobile phones because Jamaica is what you got. It may not be as good as what you got. It may not be as up to date as you got. It might be as sophisticated as what you got, but they have it. And Jamaica's resourcefulness means that if they see or they discover that there's something in the UK that they're using that is quite amazing and give productivity, they'll find a way to make it over there in Jamaica. That continues to this day. And I'm pretty sure if you gave investment to a science university or college or science or STEM, whatever, it will reap the answers to many problems around the world. Health centers, cancer treatment, everything. As long as you apply the money to the people with the resourcefulness and the flexibility of thought and the creativeness, you will get results. You don't need to have the people that are most in highest education levels and blah, blah, blah. You can just have people that they'll find a way by hook or by crook. They'll find a way to sort out the problem because that's what we do. We don't meal around, oh no, woe is me, what should we do? They'll find out, move up here. They'll just find a way. The car hasn't started in 60 years. Brum, brum. Here it's going now. They'll find a way. The water's not running. Get out the way, the flood's coming. They'll find a way. Jamaica's undefeated, bro. I'm saying Jamaica's, but it's one of them things where you just start saying the Caribbean. I hate that word. I don't like the Caribbean. But it's just the islands. When I say the islands, you're not thinking of Scotland Islands or the Irish Islands or islands around the South Pacific. You're talking about Jamaica and the Barbados, Trinidad. You don't talk about all them Barbados. But it's a strange thing when people talk about the Caribbean, they think the whole of the Caribbean is Jamaica. And I've just perpetuated that. But because my family is all Jamaican, that's why I'm saying Jamaica. That's why I'm talking about Jamaica today. I'm not talking about just us need to, stop a stereotype. We need the whole islands to change the stereotype of the Caribbean being another part of the third world. That needs to happen everywhere. But specifically Jamaica, because there's so many different things that people could say, oh, my favorite food comes from there, my favorite music comes from there, my favorite activity comes from there, everything people say they love and hate seems to be from Jamaica. Yeah, so it needs to be stopped. The stereotype needs to end. Now, let me see. Yes, it's time to move on. Celebrity and community. Today in celebrity and community, we're talking about Rabbi Shummley, Boteach, Boteach, a rabbi who's very influential around the world because he's a very educated man. I met him in 1990. I'm going to say six, maybe five, as a photography, part of a photography crew. I was the assistant to the photographer that was in that asked me to help him out to take the official pictures for the Gorbachev, Mikhail Gorbachev visit to Oxford. And Rabbi Boteach was the person that invited Mikhail Gorbachev to the UK to talk at Oxford because that's where Rabbi Shummley was teaching. He's been teaching there for 17 years, or had. He's been teaching there for a very long time. And he's very well known because he has like I said before, he's very adept at speeching, speeching. His oratory is off the chain. He's a good orator and speaker, obviously, and he's had massive um, adulation because of the debates he's had with other noted speakers over the years. He's only spoke with the highest people, the highest debaters, the highest regarded debaters in his time, and he's held his lot with them. Obviously, he's Jewish, and his talks these days on the Gaza conflict have been very controversial because he's a Zionist. He's very open about how he sees the conflict, and he's very pro-Israel. So obviously, he doesn't feel that the bombing in Gaza is overdone. He doesn't feel it's a genocide. So people are saying, well, genocide is not that you wipe out everyone on the other side, and then we can say, yeah, they're all gone. No, that's a genocide. Then we can now officially say genocide. No, genocide is when, I mean, these people are living in a man-made famine now, and it only took weeks to do it. October 7th, it started. The retaliation came a few days later. That's what they're saying it started, but we all know this is the Third World War, and it's been going on for decades since Judaism went decided to put Israel, the place formerly known as Israel, in a place in Palestine to restart their, to colonize basically a part of Palestine, and therefore there's a lot of people that were living there already said, "What are you doing there?" And they were coexisting for a while, and you can settle there as long as you don't, expand to, just chill, enjoy your life and everything. Then next to no time, they just expanded, started in, possession 9/10 of the law. So they moved it. When you move your fence an inch a year, and in 10 years, you're like, you've got the whole of the garden of the other person. So how did this happen? And not an inch a year, you know what I'm talking. But it's amazing how people decided that it's not, because it's a retaliation, is they calling it self-defense. Rabbi Boteach is saying, as we believe that we have a right to defend ourselves, and we know that the way these people think is that they're only good if they have children, they're going to grow them up to attack us again. So when I'm fighting someone in the street, this is basically the way I see it and what he's saying. If someone comes up to me and fights me in the street, I've come into your house and I say, "Can I live in the room upstairs?" And you say, "Hold on, how did you get in here?" "No, you can't go upstairs." "What are you doing? How are you locking the door to me though? It's my house. Get out. Call the police." Police come. No, he's allowed to live there. And then you kick in the door. Then the police go away after hours and hours of you banging on the door and trying to, physically move him out. And he defends himself and keeps himself in your room that he's just boxed himself in. He comes downstairs and starts pushing your sofa around and in your living room and says, no one can go in the kitchen unless you bring food, unless you do that. You pay me £2. Hold on a second. Why are we paying you money? Why are you still here? Why are you still in the room? How comes we can't get in the room anymore? How comes you got your friends coming over there? What's going on? They just basically take over the house and tell you to leave after a few weeks. And then they built up the house next to it. And then the other house on the other side. Then they made an extension on the roof and they extended backwards into the garden and expanded all those gardens to the point where they're owning the street now. And everyone on the street said to you, "Why did you let them in?" Because they forced their way in. I didn't ask them to come into my place. What are we going to do about it? I don't know. They're too powerful. They've got too many friends. And now they're telling us how to live on the street. And the government's doing nothing about it. Why can't we fight against the government? Because the government is Britain, and Britain is in cahoots with these people. So this is the metaphor I'm using. If I came in and did that to anyone's houses that's watching this, you'll have the police there, I'll be battered, I'll be thrown into the street. It'd be pretty funny if I wasn't even killed. It'd be everyone would be expecting you killed him, right? Yeah, I know you did kill him. Why? Why not? Because that's crazy. You'd think it abnormal if I wasn't hurt very well, very much. So this is how I know how the Gaza people feel the Palestinians feel. But Israel saying, yeah, they were in the kitchen, but we just wanted to have something to eat, so we told them all to get out so we could take over cooking in the kitchen for the whole room, for the whole bedrooms and the whole house that we now employ. And, it just gets crazy. The talk just gets crazier and crazier and crazier to the point where you think, why were the Palestinians even there? They shouldn't have been there. They should have just allowed them to have it. Really? That's what Rabbi Boteach is saying. He's saying they attacked back because of what we did. And we find that wholly unacceptable. Now we've had to wipe them all out because their children will grow up and want to repeat what their parents did. So we have to protect ourselves in perpetuity for the rest of life of our grandchildren. So this made me feel like I said to this weeks ago when I was covering the Gaza conflict. Israel made this happen. They made the attack happen. If not arranged it, they let their guard down long enough. They turned a blind eye. They're doing it. They're breaking in. All right. We don't see nothing. They're doing it. They let them break in so they can retaliate on a ridiculous level to the point where the people of Palestine are so disenfranchised from that to go back to their houses, their homes, their schools, their hospitals is a health hazard. It's almost impossible. How are they going to rebuild? And if they were going to try and rebuild, how much of the territory is left to rebuild? Because as they're bombing, they're taking it over. You know, I would be surprised if they just took over whatever they bombed. So the people can't come back there. That would make sense if you're going by the playbook of Israel right now. And Rabbi Boteach, as a person that is supposed to be a religious leader, a cultural apologist for religion, a religious apologist. I was going to say cultural because that means everyone in that region grew up there like that. But no, they have secular people, they have atheists, they have all kinds of people living under their roof, their country. And so you have to say to yourself, where do they see an end should come where people are so disgusted around the world and they're still not stopping the bombing? Where's their ending? Where do they see an end would be? Oh, that's enough. When is enough? Enough. If their limit or if their minimum is obliteration of a people, then what are they prepared to do? I mean, how far are they prepared to go? And you have to think to yourself, anyone that is making the conflict continue or finds that this is normal and it's nothing more than you would do is obviously an enemy of peace. So I'm asking the question, Rabbi Boteach, does he represent the Jewish people and their feelings on Gaza conflict? And I can say without a flicker of an eyelid that obviously not, because there's protests from Israel nationalists, even though they're with their people, they're not with the bombing, because they remember that they were friends and have coexisted for decades. Although it is a bit of a fiery relationship, you know, arguments continue, debates continue as to who is correct and who should have the land and blah blah blah. But two-state was what everyone was going for until some people decided, no, they don't want the debate to continue. They want to just end the debates and just get it over with. Now, Hamas, even though Hamas have said, no, we want it all back, we want them gone, which is impossible, ridiculous. That's what they're going by. So obviously, the Jewish people have said, we're not going to stop retaliating to preserve our peace by doing defense, which is carpet bombing and mashing up everyone and killing all your children. Hamas is saying, we're not going to stop attacking. We're not going to stop being terrorists, because that's what we can do. That's what we can do until we talk to our bigger people, like Iran, who are our backers financially, to do nuclear weaponry. And Russia will bring in Russia, and will bring in China, anyone else that is opposing America and England, who are helping you. So yeah, this ends in World War III. It's not going to stop. And especially when you got the religious leaders themselves who are highly respected, like Rabbi Boteach, saying this is the correct way to retaliate, this is the correct way to do this. I can't see an end to this conflict, like I said before. Ukraine or Russia, I thought that would last 3 months. It's going to be a quick thing because Russia, Ukraine, Russia, massive football, Ukraine, grain of rice. It's just ridiculous to think, okay, well, who's backing you, Ukraine? Why is your chest so big? Why are you shouting so? Oh, America's backing you. Oh, well, it's not America, it's NATO. Yeah, we get it. But like, you want membership to that NATO, which should give you the backing of 50 odd countries, and the biggest ones being the most um, aggressive to defend NATO, being the largest people with the largest armies and capabilities against Russia, which are just chilling out, saying, "Yo, you belong to us, always have belonged to us. I don't know why you're getting your big brethren to get involved. Nothing to do with them. Just chill out, man. You could all live together like we always have. What's your problem? Why are you trying to be different now?" And Ukraine is saying, "We're big. We can do big things. We're massive. We're the world's food basket." So it's crazy. The rabbi has had, obviously, because people want to dismiss what he's saying, they want to play down what he's saying, has had his whole family attacked, not physically yet. I haven't heard of anyone physically attacking, but it's because of the books he's written on sex and lust and all kinds of books he's written. But they're like saying, well, he's not a proper rabbi. That's not what rabbi is supposed to talk about. Why should we listen to him on this if he's talking about those crazy things over there? And there you go. That's it. It's a crazy thing that the leaders of both countries are perpetuating this. So who do we say, "I don't like your attitude"? Wait a minute, I don't like yours either. You want it to continue. You want it to continue. You won't change. You won't change. Yeah. Perf- Perfect storm. Things needed to keep your war going. Perfect storm. When you've got the leaders telling you this is how to retaliate, and the world telling you, uh, no, we don't like the way you retaliate. I know you should retaliate, you know, you need to defend, but this is too much now. You need to stop. We're going to tell your allies because we live here. We're going to tell our leaders who are your allies in war and defense to chill. And if they don't tell you, we're not going to vote for them. So this is why Biden and Sunak, it's an election time. Isn't that coincidence that they're both going through election at the time of war? That's crazy. Because they know that when you're at war, you stay elected. It's not good to try to transfer power while you're at war with another country. So you have to, Sunak's done. He's going, and Trump is not getting into the lead position again. So it's going to be Biden and Keir Starmer sorting out these wars. So they've got to adhere to what their countries are saying. Wow. They've got to adhere to the people's wants and needs. And we want and need peace. We can bring up our children in comfort. Get on with it. Expand ourselves. Become Star Trek. Anywho, Rabbi Boteach is very outspoken on it. And no matter how much his children and family are pulled them from pillar to post over the news about their companies that they've made and what they do in their spare time and stuff like that, he's not backing down. And he's doubled down in many cases to the point where he's had massive arguments with other controversial figures like Alex Jones. Alex Jones, of course, we all know who Alex Jones is. He's been dealing with conspiracy and controversy for decades, a couple of decades now, and is very well known. Had a debate or discussion with Rabbi Boteach, Shummley Boteach, and they came to blows, not physically, obviously, but they were cursing out each other and defaming each other and saying derogatory remarks to each other. Basically, it went off the rails. And I had a video to show you, but it's too long. It's about 15 minutes long. So I couldn't show you. But basically, it was instead of talking about the subject, they started ad hominem attack on what their family has been up to and who's in court and how much money they've paid out and they're not worth talking to. So why are you on the program? Why are you listening to this? You know, this strange behavior in media these days is that everyone's trying to score points on someone else's media channel. And this just doesn't bode well for society. Who do we believe? That person shouting louder than that one. So obviously that person must be right. He's louder. Oh, that person's had less sexual problems in their life. So the other person is wrong. That person's got more money. So that one must be wrong. You know, it's very strange. No, the truth is very difficult to come by these days. And the people dropping the truth are so ambiguous that what they say you don't know. Should you listen? Should you ignore? You don't know what to do. They just make you more anxious. And it doesn't bode well for us as a nation, as a world. If we can't get them under control. So that's what's happening in the celebrity community. Talk about Rabbi Boteach, a leader. We're not necessarily talking about him personally, but because he's directly involved in giving out truth, and he's a very well-respected person in the community normally for what he says about on myriad of subjects, and he's talking very openly about this conflict, that the conflict may still continue because of people like him. So do we silence free speech, or do we both highlight both sides for what they are, perpetuating the violence? And if so, do we still back them up as countries, Freudian slip, same thing. Yeah, so it's a difficult situation to be in, but it's not made better through these people like Rabbi Shummley, Boteach. Should he be silenced though? I don't think so. Right, last thing today. We're talking about what sparks me off. As usual, I've done nearly 400 shows now. I think the 400th one is next week, and it's just an estimate. Probably done more than that. But between Blapp's experience that I used to do with Boogie and BLAPPS Talk, which started in 2010. 2010, we've been doing this since then. There's been about 400 2-hour shows. And each BLAPPS Talk show, I've managed to find something that grinds my gears, that pisses me off, that sparks me to anger, sparks me off. And today's is those who don't trust science, those people that do not trust science. You're looking at me today, right now on your device, whatever that be. That's how you got to see me today, through a device. I'm not in your home. I'm not on your TV. Well, I'm not on your phone. I'm not on your laptop. I don't know where I am. But if you're watching this show, it's on something electronic. which was made through science, use of science, through for the study of science to make this device. Those people who do not trust science, they'll say, yeah, I've got a mobile phone, I'm talking to you across the world in real time, but I don't believe gravity exists. I don't think evolution is correct. I don't. A certain group of people I'm talking about, you can hear it already. You've got them in your head. I didn't mention any group of people, but you already know who I'm talking about. And this is not about them. It's just anyone who seems to know how a car works, how it moves. They jump in their car, they drive out to their mate's house and have a pizza delivered by texting some food this outlet, and they got a driver to come out by the use of the device to bring them food. They ordered their food through a supermarket that was on their laptop website, and then the food came a couple of days later, and there was no physical money exchanged. How did this happen? Did you pray to your God and it happened? Did it? I just let it sleep there. I'm not talking about, but those people who don't trust science are normally people that like to think that magic exists. That magic is a real thing. Now, the problem with this is that I watch a lot of superhero stuff. And one explanation of how superheroes can do so many wonderful things is if they haven't inherited it through some natural way, some toxic thing, or they got caught in an explosion or gamma rays or whatever, if they engineered something like an Iron Man suit, for instance, their explanation to it is that high technology advancement or high high levels of technological advancement would look like to a prehistoric person magic. And I agree. If you went back to the Stone Age with your time machine and came out with the Iron Man suit, that would disappear on command and reappear without any command. It just come on. And then you can blast things around you, blah, blah, blah. If you were to report to your friend and then blast it looked like some sheet enveloped his whole body, and he had stuff coming out of his hands which blew down the whole pyramid. It's blew the pyramid we built over 100 years. It took 100 years to build that pyramid. It blew it down with one blast. Yeah, it's crazy. And then he flew, and you mean he flew like birds fly? Yeah, he flew. Must be magic. Must be a god. Must be. So yeah, okay. So when I see people reporting that okay, back in the day, the pyramids were made by Anunnaki aliens 60 feet high that came to the Earth 38,000 years ago and built the pyramids and left them 200,000 years ago and built the pyramids back then. I just have to say, okay, that's fine. I can believe that over some god who no one's ever seen and he's never talked to anyone, he's never left any evidence for his existence, made everything we see, smell, taste, touch, in the universe, made everything. I would rather believe Iron Man existed 200,000 years ago than your God made the whole everything. That sounds more plausible because I know the science that backs up that claim of Iron Man 200,000 years ago is backed up by science. And you cannot back up your magic. Even Penn and Teller, very high-ranking magicians in the world, to the point where they had their own program called Fool Us, where they would say, "You're a pro magician, bring it on. Give us a trick and we'll tell you how you did it because we're that good. And if you fool us, you'll get a prize and you get a show at Vegas." You know what I mean? Make a living from doing these kind of magic tricks. Because you're that, if you can fool us, you are that good, basically. And so one of the first people that came out fooled them. So we're like, "Oh shit, is this what it's going to be like? Are we rubbish? Are we back? Are we has our ego got control of us? Or we thought we were so good, no one's going to catch us out." But no, they were just found that that person basically was good at that trick, and yeah, they couldn't work it out at that point, but they worked it out later on. So it was still they worked it out through science. They did not say he's got taps to supernatural energies that make the cards appear when he wants them to appear, and he can make, you know, prophecies of what will be in this envelope that was hidden in the audience's one of the audience members' pockets until we recovered it. All of that's explainable, but then when you do explain it, show me exactly how the science came to make that trick happen. That seemed like supernatural ability. That seemed like magic was happening. Is explained clearly and shown. Tryst gave, and the man himself says, "Yes, that's how it's done. I'm a magician. That's how the trick is done." They'll still say, "No, my God made the whole planet and the universe and all the rest of the planets and everything, and you and me." They'll still do it. And to me, that's just the height of ignorance and shows you how far yet we've still got to go. So when you come up against someone now that says, "Yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I'm a Muslim. Yes, I'm a Jew, Judaism. I follow Judaism. I follow whatever religion." They are saying to you, "We believe in a flat Earth. We believe that that dinosaurs existed when man existed. They were on the ark. You know, Tyrannosaurus Rex was, um, and that the stars are just twinkling lights and that can fall out and are used as weapons against other people, other beings, other jinn. And you know, miracles happen. Why aren't you looking at these people? Why aren't we vilifying these people? Why aren't we saying, "Yo, you need to go to a hospital"? Why? Why aren't we doing that? Is it just because there's too many of them under the same? I don't understand it, but it gets me vexed when I hear about it. There you go. There's that. There you go. I'm vexed that people still listen to these people. "Oh, really? Did that happen? Yeah. You had an experience with your God. Yeah. Oh, right. Did he do that for you? Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. You should go on stage and tell people, what? Get money for it. Okay. You get money for it then, you know? And the next hustle is born. Crazy. And for me to think my children are going to have children soon that are going to grow up while this stuff is still going on. And I've been on half a century on this planet and not changed anything to stop it from being taught to my grandchildren. I've failed. And you just have to worry for the existence of humanity. It's just crazy. So it's not something I just like swept. Nah, it's all right. It will get better. No, I'm actively feeling this, or you know, what I mean, when I hear these people are still around And the strange thing, when I hear these people are still around, I'm like, it can't still be the same way as what it was 20 years ago. It must be better. So I asked them, so evolution, how have we come going with evolution? Oh, yeah, yeah, we believe evolution. Yeah, yeah, cool. Gravity? Yeah, yeah, I'll throw something out, comes back down. Yeah, yeah, pull, yeah, low energy. But yeah, yeah, I'll get that. Black matter, dark matter? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big Bang? Yeah, why not? That's how the planets came together, blah, blah, blah. So why you still believe in God? Oh yeah, God made it all happen. I'm filled with deep sadness when that happens. I just said, wow, it's been 20 years and it's still in the same place. It just shows you how deep the the sickness has become. But the thing is, I watch, as you know, Star Trek. One of my favorite things to watch on TV. Um, well, I don't watch TV anymore, but you know what I'm saying. But, my favorite thing is to watch science fiction. Okay, so you watch Star Trek, and it's set in the future, 2,300 years. We're in 2024 right now. It's set in 2,361, something like that. So 300 and odd years in the future, and people are still chatting about religion. But the thing is, with their religion is that these people have actually got powers, but they think is derived from spiritual means. But it's just technology that has evolved so far that it makes it look like Iron Man in prehistoric times. That's all it is. So the thing with Star Trek, it shows you, even though what you're seeing could look like miracle, that person could change their shape, or someone could disappear in front of you, or someone could disappear and re-emerge somewhere else, or on another planet, or people can shoot ray guns or whatever. It just shows it's all based on science. You can recreate it, engineer it, as long as you've got the technical ability and become God yourself. And with that, I'm going to end today. I'm grateful that you turned up, or that you listened, or that you even heard of us, and that you've gone to visit CDMA site and you're ready to do business with me on any projects that I'm involved with. I'm going to be doing the 400 show next week. It's going to be much more professional than this one. And, maybe we'll have some people come in and be my audience. I prefer it that way. But like I said before, I'm just here to drop the information. You can go and get it later on if you want. On YouTube, on BLAPPS YouTube, which is BLAPPS, the letter U, the number 2, BLAPPS YouTube. That's my channel. And you can find out all the videos that I've decided to drop on YouTube to expand your attention, your enlightenment, make you enlightened, bring enlightenment. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight in the form of saying Romulan, which is Jolon True. And I'm also going to say, you have been blapsed. And I'm going to be saying, I love you and there's nothing you can do, which is Blaps philosophy. Respect. Tea time in Vegas.